A fixture on South Congress Avenue won't be there for much longer. Costume shop Lucy in Disguise opened in 1984, and it's going to be closing at the end of this year.
Some are sad. It's the end to the glitz and the glamour. KXAN's Taharat Rahman joining us live now from South Congress with more on why the costume shop owner says it cannot disguise closing its doors.
Britt and Daniel, a manager at Lucy's tells me that the pandemic hit them hard, but they were able to weather that. He says the main drivers behind closing came down to supply chain issues and what you see behind me, a changing Austin landscape.
Walking into Lucy in Disguise with diamonds, you'll find fedoras and more unique headwear.
We wanted to just come take a look around because we don't know when we'll be back down here.
Costumes by the occasion.
I loved it.
Or by the decade.
You can find like stuff that's not on Amazon or just like unique things that have been collected and clearly loved for a while.
After nearly 4 decades, customers now have only through the end of the year to have their fun with these costumes. And a manager here says there are a few reasons why these iconic doors will soon be closing.
That's our code that it's a one-of-a-kind.
Jerry Durham says they're still facing supply chain issues.
It's really been a challenge to keep the store as well stocked as people are used to it being.
He also says the street is changing.
The style of South Congress doesn't feel like what it was when we started the store.
Jordan Verrett works next door.
It's sad to see some of the staples go. There's a lot of change, and it's a positive thing in a lot of ways too.
Ariel Deruvo says it's the latest beloved Austin space to go.
People want to come here for the culture, but the culture's going to be gone.
Nearly every inch of this roughly 8,000 square foot store covered with not only eclectic items, but memories.
As a queer man, like having this as kind of a haven and being able to come to work every day with no fear of judgment and all of that, that's been really impactful for me too.
Now, with rising rents across Austin, we asked if that played a factor into Lucy's closing down. The manager I spoke with says, though, the owner of the store also owns the building, and he thinks that's actually a main reason why they've been able to stay in business for as long as they have, even while some of their neighbors here have had to leave. Britt, Daniel.
All right, Tahara, thank you very much. And the manager we spoke with says the owner of Lucy in Disguise doesn't plan on selling the space until they are fully closed and cleared out. He says he doesn't know what's going to happen next or who will take over the space. You can still rent costumes through the end of the month, then the store is going to start selling them off.
Now, we did check in with property appraisal records for the buildings on the same block as Lucy's in Disguise, and according to the Travis Central Appraisal District, the net appraisals range from $800,000 to just over $2 million. Most have doubled in 10 years.